least I didn't fall over. I get bills in the mail I can't afford to pay. I get bills in the mail I can't afford to pay. If I don't get lucky soon, I have no place to stay. No place to stay. I don't have no finance. I don't own stocks or shares. I don't have no finance. I don't own stocks or shares. My car's off the road 'cause I can't afford the spares, can't afford repairs. I got the trickle-down blues. I got the trickle-down blues. I got the trickle-down blues, and it's bringing me down. Well, I waste all my money. I spend it all on food and rent. Yes, I waste all my money. I spend it all on food and rent. When I get paid on Fridays, that money's already spent, already spent. I got the trickle-down blues. I got the trickle-down blues. I got the trickle-down blues, and it's bringing me down. I got the trickle-down blues. I got the trickle-down blues. I got the trickle-down blues, and it's bringing me down. Now we better get the band. The Raging Thirst, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what we decided to do on the first 3/4 of this set is we're going to do songs about places. All the songs I've written about this place or that place. And we're going to start off with one called the Brunswick Street Strut. And it came about a while ago. I was sitting out on my back porch there down in Rosewater, and I had a cask of cheap plonk and some fish and chips for tea. I wouldn't say I passed out, ladies and gentlemen, but I had a dream. I had a dream. Right to go? Yep. I dreamt I went to Melbourne to kickstart my career. I had to get away. There was nothing happening here. I'd made a new CD, best one I'd done so far. Then it started getting played on 3RRI. So I'm walking down Brunswick Street, feeling out of place. A bearded hipster comes up to me, staring at my face. Man, he said, I love your new CD. I went into a guitar shop there, They wanted a selfie with me. And it was all just like a dream. It was all just like a dream. Just like a dream. So we had the album launch at the Corner Hotel. That place was packed with friends and faces I knew well. James Black from Rockwiz, Julia Zamira too. They're checking me out for episode number 992. Paul Kelly slips in and sits down in the back corner. Courtney Barnett, Jeff Lang and the A&R man from Warner. And during the break, my old agent comes over to me. Donnie, he said, let's get some action up in Sydney. I'll organise a tour. Just leave it all up to me. And it was all just like a dream. It was all just like a dream. Just like a dream. Just a dream. It was just a dream. Just a dream. 'Cause now I'm in the front bar of the Federal Hotel with a few lonely drinkers. It's a scene I know well. They stare straight ahead as I sing Pat Malone. For the together unconnected, it's a little too close to the bone. And after the gig, the manager comes over to me. I know he's going to try and renegotiate the fee. I've done okay though. I sold a few CDs. Enough for some cheap wine tomorrow and fish and chips for tea. I'll get a cask of piss tomorrow and have fish and chips for tea. And it was all just a dream. It was all just a dream. I had a dream. Just a dream. I had a dream. Just a dream. Even I can dream. Now I think everybody will know the next place we're doing this song about. My girlfriend's gone to Sydney on an evening plane. Once she sees those city lights, she won't be back again. And from the airport lounge, I can see the town skyline, see the hills in the distance, and it feels like New Year time, 'cause I'm back. fly overhead. They're bound for the eastern states and they get me out of bed. The sound of people leaving is the sound that starts my day, and it always starts me thinking it could be me again someday. But I'm sitting in the sunshine in my big backyard, eating peaches from my fruit trees, and leaving just seems too hard. While I'm back home in Adelaide, yes, I'm back home again. Oh, I'm back home in Adelaide. Yes, I'm back home again. Thanks. Way back in the early 80s, very early 80s actually. I know I don't look old enough to have been alive then, yes. But moved to Melbourne with a band that the band was in called Bodgies, and we went over there to live because over there you could play, 6 nights a week or 7 nights a week, and there was lots of towns around that you could go out to. So, it's a good move, and we moved. I moved to a place in St Kilda, and at the time, St Kilda was like the Laurel Canyon of the Australian music scene. There was James Black, the fellow we mentioned from Rock Quiz. He was playing in Mondo Rock at the time, just up the road, and JJ Hackett, the drummer from Adelaide in Mondo Rock, he was just up the road. Renee Gayer was around the corner. Paul Kelly was up the road a bit. The bloke from the sports, what's his name? Steve Cummings, yeah, he was close by. Lots of people, and they used to wander around and ask me for hints on how to write songs and things. Yeah. Anyway, but there were a lot of drugs there in St Kilda too, and that's probably why some of the aforementioned were living there as well. But after a while, my musical career was going so well that I got a job delivering groceries in my van. And on this, the scene that I mention in the song, the lyrics and that, every word of it is true. It was about a thing that cropped up on my deliveries one time. I turned my van into Hotham Street to make the same delivery on the same day of the week. I pulled up at the flats of number 5, and I heard a cry I'll remember all my life. Help me, she cried. I think my friend has died. Help me, she cried. I think my friend has died. I saw him there Okay, I wonder if anybody came along Grand Junction Road today to get up here. Bass player ready?
I definitely did. And I didn't have to, but I did it just so I'd be prepared to perform this song.
Excellent.
It was actually way out of my way, but here I am now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Pre-season, like, pre-match warm-up. That's right. It runs alongside the city, past all the things they don't want you to see, and then goes to all the places that you don't want to be. It's the home of the high-vis shirt and the clapped-out Commodore, of smokes hanging out the window and one eye out for the law. There's no prestigious location, no desirable postcode. There's nothing up and coming on Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. At the IGA, near Addison Road, they do their best to keep it clean, well stocked and in straight rows. But in the car park, there's a deal going down between young men so far gone they're barely human. And on the corner, there's a girl so stoned she can hardly stand, when just a mile or two down the road she could be kicking her heels up in the sand. There's bottle shops selling to the always pissed, street girls servicing the never kissed, late night pokies for the barely missed, truckloads of crap for the Wingfield dip. It's a place you go to make a living, it's not the place you want to live in. You won't find nothing to ease your load driving down Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. My father worked in a factory there, just down from the prison. Sometimes 6 days a week, but most often 7. And I wonder what he thought about all those years he drove, first thing every morning down Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. Grand Junction Road. Thanks very much. Now, as I mentioned before, this is part of a bracket about places. And in the interest of balance, we have to go across to the other side of town. And as far as I know, there's only ever been 2 songs written, the one I'm going to do for you, about Kensington Road. There's the one I'm going to do now, and then the one that Paul Kelly wrote, Kensington Road, rather than a mile for 20. The parallels between myself and Paul Kelly are immense. We were born on the same day. I was born up McGill, just near Nord High, and he was born at Kensington Gardens, the next suburb, the more expensive one. We both came from big Catholic families. I had 7 brothers and sisters, and he, of course, had 9 siblings. You know, we both went to Catholic colleges. He went to Ross Trevor, the most expensive, and I went to Morris Brothers, the one just down there, the cheapest one in Adelaide, yours. And we both went to we both barracked for Nord. Both went to Melbourne about the same time. He sold hundreds of thousands of records. I've sold hundreds, so you can hardly split us. And I got one thing on Paul Kelly is that I don't have to wear a hat when I play. That's right. But anyway, yeah. Kensington Road. Well, if you keep on driving up Kensington Road, you'll end up on a hill. You can look out all over the city from there, where it's quiet and it's still. Well, there must be a million people down there, all lined up in straight rows. And you wonder what the plan is from the end of Kensington Road. Well, there must be people dying. There must be people making love. There must be people crying out for help from their God above. Is it a town or is it a city? Depends on who you're talking to. But for me it's just a place where people are living, and they do what they gotta do. Well, you can hear the hum of the traffic, watch the jet planes come and go. You can see the ships out on the bay from the end of Kensington Road. Well, there must be people laughing, little kids on their first days at school. There must be parents working out how to pass on the golden rule. Some people down there are living their dream. Some are dreaming their lives away. Some are living for tomorrow. Some just getting through the day. It makes me wonder. Yes, I wonder. Well, I wonder why. I wonder. Yes, I wonder. Well, I wonder why. Yes. Now, it struck me the last time I went across there that only the people in Adelaide know much about the Hay Plain. Because unless you live in Deniliquin or Hay or somewhere, you know, you'd be living around that area. But when we go to Sydney, we have to cross the Hay Plains, and the people from Sydney never come here, so they wouldn't know. And the people from Melbourne, they go straight up to Sydney by the Hume Highway. So last time I went across there, this sort of song just sort of creeped into my head over the time, and this one's called the Hay Plain Blues. drove all the way to Sydney in the middle of the night. When I went through Penrith, it started getting light. In that narrow street in Newtown, outside that front door, it finally got through to me. I couldn't do this anymore. So I turned around and drove back from where I came, fighting with the sun on that wide empty plain. With the hay plane blues, just drive on through. Don't turn around. Don't turn around. That was years and years ago. I tried not to think about it much. There are a lot of good reasons to fall out of touch. But I just got a call, so I'm going back again. This time I'm driving to farewell an old friend. With the hay plane blues, just drive on through. Don't look back. Don't look back. There's a lot of time to think out there. There's a lot of sky to see. An eagle drifting way up in the air, trying to find a tree. With the hay plane blues, the hay plane blues. Hey, play blues. Now, this is a song. Doesn't the place it's about doesn't have a name. It's called Another Place. But I'll just tell you this little story. I can remember writing it. It's one of the first, well, not one of the first, but early stages of my songwriting. And it was in 1983 when they had that huge bushfire in Melbourne, the Ash Wednesday. And I was teaching the song to the guitarist in the band, Kelvin Fleming. He's an ex-Adelaide person that never came back. Plays over there, and we were on. I had a flat, the second story in the St Kilda flat, and you could see this horizon down towards Frankston, and there was this huge brown smoke rolling in. It was really awesome, and so every time I play this song, I remember that vision of the Ash Wednesday smoke coming through Melbourne, watching it come up. Yeah. Take a trip across the ocean, or a shack by the sea. You can go just any place where you'd like to be, on a tropical
Thank you. A song about another place there.
Should introduce the band, shouldn't we? Jake Morrison on the guitar. We've got Eddie Morrison on the bass, Eddie. And Andy Praskonski stuck behind me there in the drums.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, the man with the power too sweet to be sour, prettier than a flower, the man with the largest arms, the most charms, who does the most harm, often imitated, never duplicated, often appreciated, Mr. Don Morrison!
Now, here's a song about many places. I mentioned, though, he was in this band called the Bodgies a while back, and once we moved to Melbourne, we used to play 7 nights a week for a fortnight there. Then we'd go up to Sydney and do 7 nights a week for a fortnight up there and play at all the places in between. And there were 4 of us in the band, and the road manager used to go in the same car, and we'd drive everywhere. And we'd do things like play at the Mansell Room in King's Cross, finish at 4 in the morning, hop in the car, and then drive back down to Melbourne for a gig the next night. I'm glad we did it in the time. It was sort of interesting, but I'd never do it again. But oh yeah, I've got. I'll show you. I've written all about that era in this rollicking biography called "This Could Be Big: 40 Years at the Dag End of the Australian Music Industry," and it just so happens I got a few copies for sale today. But quite often I'm asked to sum the book up in a few words, so I just say 5 men in a car. There's only trucks and us on this giant highway. 5 men in a car. 5 men in a car. Towns go by, they're just names. Refueling stops on our road to fame. We've been here before, maybe. Now I'm not sure, but it looks the same as the place before. Now it's my turn to drive. outside and untrue. If we break down out here, not sure what we'll do. Roadhouse food near Gundagai, could be Horsham or Hay, Lismore or Yass or Narrabri. Ooh, roadhouse food. Here's another one about places without... It was actually inspired, I was crossing the Nullarbor and got to Kimber, which I never thought, after crossing the Nullarbor 4 times, I never thought I'd look at Kimber as like an outer suburb of Adelaide. But anyway, there was a forlorn-looking backpacker couple sitting near the big galah there, and their van had obviously broken down and they were waiting for somebody to give them some help to come along. And I got the idea for this song from looking at that.
Did you help them?
I'll explain why later on. I've got to do a song called Driving in My Combi, and that's why. Drove in silence for most of the day. Empty horizon, not much to say. Then she said, "It's empty." He agreed that was true. No phone reception, nothing they could do. So many things are closed on the open road. So they sat and waited beside the van, alone and tiny in this wide empty land. Hoping that someone would help them on their way, but the road ahead was empty and the past too far away. So many things are closed on the open road. So many things are closed on the open road. A car in the distance, but he drove right by, didn't even look sideways. Who knows why? They saw the sticker on his back screen, a map of a stranger with love it or leave. Ah, so many things are closed on the open road. There's so many things that closed on the open road. Thanks very much. Now, this guitar I'm playing, this one here, is made out of my old grandparents' house up in Broken Hill.
Now we're very angry with you for tearing that down, Dan.
No, when I went up there a few years ago, it was just a rundown, empty place. Nobody living there. And I remember as a kid we used to go up there quite a bit. And we used to play cricket and that in the dusty old backyard. And my grandmother, Minnie Maloney, she was only about 4'2", but she was very strict. And my grandfather, Vincent Victory, the two best names ever, Minnie Maloney and Vince Victory, he wasn't allowed to drink beer in the house. And he was only allowed to go down the pub once or twice a week. Anyway, one day I remember we were playing cricket in the backyard. And the ball went up this dusty thing into the shed and out right in the end of the shed, and it was all dark and everything. And there was old Pop having a drink of a beer in the back of this, in the shade, in the shadows. And he said to me, "Don't you tell your grandmother I'm in here. I'm making her a surprise." But anyway, I always remembered that. And years later, when I started making guitars, I went up there and got a sheet of tin out of that shed right from where he was sitting that was just fallen out, and the neck's made out of some skirting boards that had fallen off, and used a bit of a foundation stump that had fallen out for that. The other one I used is actually made out of my dad lived up in a place near in the Mallee called Perponda, and I went back there a while back, and there's nothing there, just a pile of rubble. So I grabbed a sheet of tin from that, and the neck's made out of a railway fence post for the railway that doesn't live there anymore. And so anyway, to cut a long story short, one of the reasons I wrote this song was, going around looking at old places and finding bits of tin and that. It's, it's quite interesting and it can be a bit emotional at times. I remember once finding little kids' toys under this rubble and all that sort of stuff. This is called One Day. One day I'll be rusting, possums in the roof, pigeons in the kitchen, floorboards coming loose, the porch out the front has long since blown away. There was nothing there to shelter anyway. One day the old dog's grave will be erased by time, replaced by a fading keep out sign. Old sheets of iron lying on the ground, sheds and shelters falling down. But once there was a garden with fruit on the vine. There was a band on the veranda dancing and wine. Once there was a wedding out on the back lawn. Once a little child was born. I've been renovated, I've been bought and sold, I've been advertised as charming an investment one could hold, a renovator's dream, then land value only. Now, no one seems to own me. But once there was a swing set, kites flying in the breeze. Once there were little children climbing in the trees. I've seen 1,000 goals kicked and many overs bowled. But now, I'm just old. One day I'll be empty, standing all alone. Anyone that knew me, long since dead or gone. One day I'll be leaning, wind howling through the door. No one knows my story anymore. I never ever had a doubt about how things would all turn out. But now I can wonder if I might be wrong. What broke the spell that I've been under for so long? Now black and white has turned to grey. Dusk and dawn replace the day. Certainty no longer about what I have to say. I'm feeling weak instead of stronger. Change my mind from day to day. I got to make a new start, have a change of heart. I got to get a new plan. I'm gonna be a new man if I can. Things would all turn out. But I look in the mirror every morning. Lord, it tells me the truth. I greet that graying hair good morning and kiss goodbye to my youth. I got to make a new start, have a change of heart. I got to get a new plan. I got to be a new man if I can. I got to make a new start, have a change of heart. I got to get a new plan. I got to be a new man if I can. Thanks. Now we might do one more before the we have a break. Getting low on beer. That's right. Jake's run out. Yeah. Eddie's got plenty left. He's going to do a solo set later.
Playing all afternoon.
Speaking of beers, I remember the first time I hadn't been to Melbourne for quite a while, and so I bought a pint there. I usually judge the length of my sets by the beer, and we get a pint here. But a pint there is much bigger, so I got told off for going overtime. I still had beer left. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you that. Oh, yeah, here's a song you can't do at a work function. Unless it's your last day, of course. Yeah. care about you. The only thing he cares about is when his promotion comes through. He struts around the floor, thinks he's very clever. That man is a genius, said no one ever. My boss is an idiot. 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 One of these days I'm gonna tell him to. One of these days I'm gonna tell him to. One of these days I'm gonna tell him to. My boss is an idiot. Thanks very much. We're gonna have a short break now, and I'll be back on in a while and do some more songs. Oh, and don't forget, I got some CDs and books for sale if you want to come and. I'll yes. Sell them.